Coming up, a University of Maryland fraternity member is under investigation for a racist email. Find out how UMD students are reacting.
Then find out how the loss of affordable housing is affecting D.C. residents. District Wire News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm James Dubeck.
And I'm Paola Chavez. At the University of Maryland, an investigation is underway after a racially charged email was sent to a handful of students a year ago. Jeremy Mohue has more.
In College Park, UMD administrators are investigating an email sent by a Kappa Sigma fraternity member in January of 2014. The unidentified student targeted African Americans, Indians, and Asian women using racial slurs and epithets in the body of the email. Though the unnamed student has since resigned from the fraternity, many still are wondering why this investigation took so long.
I thought it was kind of hilarious that it took a year, because that's what was my first reaction. It's like, why didn't whoever got this email say something about it a year ago? So I'm not surprised that it would come at the same time, but also, as much as I maybe appreciated it coming to light, I also felt it was kind of cowardly to not say something about it sooner.
Though the email was vulgar, it did not violate any campus conduct policies, and free speech has come to the forefront of the issue.
President Lowe is trying to understand, and he's trying to figure out how to move forward, trying to protect their right to free speech, but also trying to protect our right to feel welcomed on campus. So he's kind of stuck. An email is not something that you can expel somebody for.
UMD will be providing educational training on diversity and respect in the coming months. Jeremy Mohue, District Wire News.
Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Barbara Mikulski are in Maryland today to discuss new federal funding for rape testing kits. $41 million from the federal government will go to help clear a backlog of hundreds of thousands of testing kits in Maryland. The federal money will also go to help avoid more backlogs and train more medical examiners.
A metro station manager was stabbed Sunday morning at the Stadium Armory Station. Spokesman for the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, Dan Stressel, says the manager was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are searching for the suspect, described as a woman, who left the station after the attack. The station remains open.
An 18-year-old woman linked to Virginia delegate Joseph Morrissey gave birth over the weekend. Morrissey confirmed that he was with Myrna Pride when she delivered a baby boy in Georgia, but would not offer any further details. The 57-year-old was released from jail last week for a misdemeanor in December 2014. He pled no contest to contributing to the delinquency of a minor in a sex scandal with Pride, who was 17 at the time. Morrissey is set to go to trial later this year for perjury and forgery counts.
3 people are in custody after last week's Riverdale homicide. Police say there may be additional suspects involved in the crime. Officers found 18-year-old Rashad Jamal Clark suffering from trauma on March 11th, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. Investigation shows Clark and a group of friends got into a fight with another group that included the 3 people arrested. The suspects arrested face first and second-degree murder charges.
A new report reveals Washington, D.C. rarely releases audio of 911 calls. City officials say the audio is public, but according to the Associated Press, D.C. routinely uses privacy exemptions to keep the audio under wraps. But in nearby Maryland, 911 audio is typically released within just a few days, but with the names redacted.
It's no secret that Washington, D.C. is one of the most expensive cities to live in. A new study shows that the problem is continuing to get worse. Jonathan Hunter has more.
Thanks, Paula. Washington, D.C. is one of the top 10 most expensive cities to live in the United States of America. Today, I talked to one D.C. resident who was very unhappy about the affordable houses crisis in D.C.
Sharon Wells works as a pet sitter in Northeast D.C. She moved back in the Deanwood neighborhood 4 years ago after living downtown. She says the high house prices forced her to move from the downtown area.
I heard that housing in the downtown area, 1-bedroom apartment, could be as much as $2,500 a month. And If you're making minimum wage, which I think now is $9.50, you can't live there. So where do you go?
According to a new study by the DC Fiscal Policy Institute, affordable housing is quickly going away in the nation's capital. Since 2002, homes renting for $800 or less has gone from $60,000 to $33,000 as of 2013. That's a 42% decline. Wells says she would like to see the city focus more on the residents.
They are building more and more buildings towards offices, and they could be used for people that have no homes now or that are on the streets. And I just think they're moving in the wrong direction.
The report says the affordable housing scare mostly affects those without a college degree. Last year alone, the city saw a 13% increase in the homeless rate in the city and an increase in the number of households that are rent burdened. The statistics will pose a challenge for Muriel Bowser in the upcoming months.
Muriel Bowser says she's going to do all she can to address the affordable housing crisis in Washington, D.C. Back to you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Coming up, fashion designer Dolce & Gabbana faced social media outrage over their comments about children conceived through in vitro fertilization.
Next, we talk about racial comments made on Yik Yak about black students at American University with members of Campus Life.